Welcome to the Page of Our Lives podcast with your hosts, Paige Evanson and me, Leslie Stewart. Every week, we take a page from our own lives or the life of an inspiring friend and give you the Cliffs Notes. Our goal is to encourage you, challenge you, and remind you to have more fun. So grab your favorite drink, pop in your earbuds, and settle in. We promise it'll be a real page turner. Like wearing yoga pants, but never doing yoga. This is another day in the page of our lives. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm Leslie.
And I'm Paige. We're so glad you're here.
Yes, we're so happy you're here. Can you believe it?
No, I cannot believe it. We've been trying to get this set up for a while, Leslie.
We have. So if you're new to our show, we just want to say, first of all, say welcome. We're so glad you're here. So we wanted to kick off this podcast number one by introducing ourselves, a little bit about what we're doing with this show, why we're doing this, and maybe share a few fun facts about each one of us and kind of how we met. So I'll go first. So I'm Leslie, and I live in Dallas, Texas, and I am a women's ministry director at a church in the area. And I haven't always worked in vocational ministry. I spent many years before that working in corporate world, overseeing communications team and marketing and media relations and all kinds of things around that. And I met Paige in 2009, I think. I was trying to think through that today.
How do you remember that date?
I think it was either 2009 or 2000, like the spring of 2010.
Okay.
And I met Paige.
Did I have Karis yet? Did I have my third child?
You did have Karis.
Okay, so it had to be 2010.
Okay, so 2010. I think you had just had her.
Yeah.
And we met through MOPS. I was a part of a church. This is in Tampa, Florida. I was a part of a church there, and I went to my monthly MOPS meeting, and Paige was the guest speaker. And do you remember what you talked about?
No. Was it about marriage?
I think it was about marriage. Yes.
I think I talked about marriage. I talked a couple times about marriage, so I don't remember which one I was talking about. And then marriage have changed a lot. So
yes. And then at the end you said, or maybe at the beginning, you said something like, I'm always trying to collect new friends.
Yep.
And I was new to the area, and I was like, well, I need a friend.
Yes.
So I stalked her after the meeting. I followed her out to the parking lot to her minivan.
Yep.
And I was like, hey, remember how you said you're collecting friends? Well, I could use a friend because I'm new here and I don't know anyone. And well, that was the beginning, right?
That was the beginning. It was I do remember out in the parking lot, and I am a friend collector, and I love making new friends. And Leslie, she's totally my kind of person. So it was very easy to be friends with you, Leslie, right from the start. And then I think we start doing Bible studies together. And before I knew it, we were like working on the church staff together and doing skits and dramas. And I don't know, we've done a lot of fun stuff.
We have done a lot of fun stuff. Tell our listeners a little bit about yourself.
So I currently live in Seneca, South Carolina. I'm right down the road from Clemson. So some of you may have heard of that university. Go Tigers. I had never heard, I'm from Mississippi originally. And then we moved to Florida. I grew up in Florida, and that's where I met Leslie, and I met my husband, Clay. And he was playing minor league ball at the time down in Florida. And we met at a big church down there. And I kept him in Florida for quite a long time. And then we have 4 children. And after the 4th child was born, she had a rare liver disease, which kept us heating up the road from Tampa to Atlanta. And after she was healed and got her liver transplant, we felt like God just was saying, it's time for you to go somewhere else, but we didn't know where to go. And so we started looking at vacation rentals, vacation rental by owner, which we may have to do an episode all about vacation style living, because that's what I did for several years, is like lived on vacation. And we ended up landing in Seneca, or first it was Westminster, then Seneca. I had never been to South Carolina before. But once we got up here, it's absolutely beautiful. We're right near a place called Lake Keowee. It's literally Keowee, Keowee. Sounds kind of, I don't know. I don't even know what it sounds like.
Sounds like a fruit.
Sounds like a fruit. Yeah. Sounds like we're across the street from fruit. But anyway, so there's lots of mountains and waterfalls and streams and hiking and outdoor stuff to do. And we really liked it and felt like this is just where God said to land. So now we are here in South Carolina. And I've got kids coming in. I'm in the laundry room because if for those that are not watching us, you can see I'm in the laundry room because it's like the only place with a door that I'm hoping nobody will bother me. But that's not the case because I have 4 kids and I have 3 dogs now. Now that we live in South Carolina, we have dogs, a golden doodle, a Pomapoo, and an old English bulldog. And for those of you who don't know, I don't even like dogs. Nope. I do not even like dogs. God bless. But they have changed me, and now I am a dog person. And I mostly just like my kids a lot. So my kids right now currently are. I have 2 teenagers, a 16 and a 15-year-old, and then I have an 11-year-old. Well, almost 11. She'll be 11 this summer, and then an 8-year-old. So 1 boy and 3 girls, 3 dogs, 1 husband. I do not currently like work outside of the home. My job is I'm a homeschooling mom. So my job is I'm an excellent Uber driver for my children. And I drive them all over God's green earth to basketball and baseball and dance and swimming. And it's just full. And I hang out here in the laundry room a lot because as y'all can imagine with 4 children and 3 dogs that if the children do not let the dogs out, they're peeing on the floor. And therefore I'm back in the laundry room. So
Yes.
I guess this is my little sweet spot.
It's your home away from home, right?
It's my home away from home. Yeah, it's my hideout.
I love it. Well, I'm also married. I have 2 sons that are almost 15 and 12, and we're starting high school in the fall. I am not a homeschool mom. I have told Paige and every other person who ever asked me that the Lord would have to show up in a burning bush or in the form of a talking donkey before I'm going to homeschool. So, although, with COVID last year, I got a little taste of that, and I was real happy when our school
Yeah.
said we're going back in August
So
of 2020. So,
that's right.
I have a lot of admiration for moms who say yes to homeschooling because I'm not one of them. But yeah, so let's talk a little bit about what we're doing with this.
Yes, let's go there.
Okay, so we called this podcast Page of Our Lives. First of all, because we just like a good, turn of phrase. And second of all, because that's what we want to do with this show. We want to give you a little glimpse into our lives, but also into the lives of some of our wonderful friends and special guests that we're going to have on the show. And, one thing that Paige and I do in our relationship with one another is we share tips and tricks and ideas and things that are working for us as busy moms, wives, and women who really are focused on living our lives first and foremost for Jesus Christ. And so we love to share ideas on things we're cooking, deals we're finding at the store,
Yes.
ways that we're saving time and money for our family, but also how are we growing spiritually? And what are some of the great books that we're reading?
Yeah.
Even podcasts that we listen to. We love to share those ideas too. So, and I promise you this, you're never going to listen to this podcast and not leave with a smile on your face because we
Right.
are all about the fun and we're really excited that you're here with us. What else
Yeah.
are we going to be talking about, Paige?
Well, kind of the acronym of Page of Our Lives is pool. So we've decided.
That's
And I'm
right.
like, duh, I didn't even think of that. That's totally Leslie right there for you. But basically, we want you to dive into the deep end with us. So jump in the pool. Like we want you to kind of get involved. We're creating a whole new community. Not that you necessarily maybe needed a whole nother community to be a part of, but hopefully so. Some of you will. And we are excited that you're going to be a part of it. We are going to talk about all kinds of things. For those that know me personally, I love to read. I always have a stack and I love going to the thrift store and finding new books to read. I love finding a good deal and I love sharing that with other people. So I'm kind of excited that this will be that outlet for Leslie and I to share. And Leslie and I, we've been doing like skits and drama, not that we're all like theatrical by any means all the time, but yeah, we're gonna have fun. We want you to have a good time when you listen in. Plus, because we both, I think, are friend collectors in a sense, we want to connect you with our friends. We meet a lot of interesting people that we want to share with you. So we're planning on having lots of different people on the podcast who are we're gonna take a page of their life and share it with you.
That's right. And you might be thinking, you know what the world needs? Another podcast. And we kind of thought that too. But after trying to talk ourselves out of it over and over, we finally
Yeah.
said, you know what, we're going to do this because we believe that there's an audience for what we have to say. And if nobody else, we know our moms are going to listen. So there's
That's
that.
right. I'll have my mom and my sister.
So hi, Nancy, and hi, Beverly.
Yes. Sally.
And hi, Sally. That's
My
right.
sister-in-law, Karina. Yeah, I'll get the family. And my mother-in-law. Yes, my mother-in-law, she would totally listen.
Well, good. Well, we're going to be a weekly podcast. You can catch us anywhere that you listen to your podcasts, whether that's Apple or Spotify or Podbean. We're going to be on all the platforms. We're going to post every Monday. So like and subscribe, as they say.
That's
and
right.
We can't wait to fill your drive, fill your house cleaning, fill your laundry doing,
That's right.
fill your run with a little bit of fun, a little bit of humor, a little bit of encouragement every single week.
Yeah. Thanks so much for joining us and jumping into the deep end with us. So we want you to jump in the pool, moms and
That's
dads.
right.
I guess I don't know if there'll be a whole lot of dads listening, but
Dads are
all you
welcome.
that's right. They are welcome. We just basically this is my little secret, Leslie. I pop in my earbuds and then I can't hear the laundry and all the noise and all that kind of stuff. And that's what we want you to do. Just pop in your earbuds. You can listen to us chat. We're going to be like that friend that helps you get things done.
That's right. I love it. All right, friends, we will see you next time. Thanks for joining us for our inaugural episode. Bye.
Bye.
Well, that closes the chapter on another episode of the Page of Our Lives podcast. Make sure and head over to Facebook and Instagram where you can find us at Page of Our Lives Podcast. That's PAGE of Our Lives Podcast. We also have the video version of our podcast available on YouTube. Wherever you find us, that's where you're going to find our show notes and links to anything we mentioned in today's episode. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week.